Thanks for visiting our channel again. John Travolta, a name that conjures images of pulsating disco dance numbers and legendary films, but also of hidden tragedies and scandals that have dogged the actor throughout his Hollywood career. At first glance, he appears to be a famous actor who has found success on screen and in the spotlight. But there are love stories, tragedies, and brewing scandals beneath the glossy surface of a Hollywood star. John Travolta has decided to end his silence and expose an unimaginably private aspect of his life, just as speculation about his private life persists. What transpired subsequent to the series of defeats? Has he really found love again? Hidden details about John Travolta's life are revealed in this film. From the heights of his professional life to the depths of his private life. There are tales that you might believe you know, but there's actually a lot more to discover. From childhood into adulthood, John Travolta came into this world in Englewood, New Jersey, USA on February 18, 1954. Out of 6 siblings, he came in at the bottom. He inherited his passion for acting from his father, Salvatore Travolta, who worked as a tire salesman and had a professional football background. The unusual cultural combination that Travolta experienced as a child was the result of his family's mixed Italian and Irish ancestry. Because his mother managed an acting and art school, Travolta grew up in an artistic environment. John Travolta's early love of the theater was greatly influenced by her. John relocated to New York after finishing high school with the intention of becoming an actor. He got his start in the business by appearing in local shows in tiny roles. An acting career, which would go on to become immensely popular in the 70s and 80s, had its start with this. The legendary roles that John Travolta has played have influenced an entire generation, making him more than simply a regular actor. The roles that launched Travolta's career in the 1970s were a perfect reflection of his distinctive style and set him on the way to stardom in Hollywood. As the youngest of 6 siblings, John Travolta came into this world in 1954 in the artistic town of Englewood, New Jersey. Helen Cecilia Burke was an actress and theater instructor, and Salvatore Travolta was a semi-professional football player turned businessman. He owes his early interest in acting and performing to his mother, who encouraged him to follow his passion from an early age. The stage was always Travolta's calling, even when he was a young man. At the age of 16, he courageously decided to forego finishing high school and instead relocate to New York in pursuit of performing chances. He started off performing in plays and little TV series, and his reputation grew from there. Saturday Night Fever 1977 starred John Travolta as Tony Manero and was a career-defining role for the actor and a watershed moment in popular culture. Travolta became a youth icon in the part as a young guy who uses his talents in music and dance to escape his humble beginnings. He was nominated for an Oscar for the part, and people all around the world began to remember him after that. Not long after that, Travolta solidified his position as Hollywood's top dog with his portrayal of Danny Zuko in the 1978 love musical Grease, which is widely considered a classic to this day. John Travolta became one of Hollywood's biggest stars, a symbol of the decade and beyond thanks to the box office successes Saturday Night Fever and Grease. The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, Travolta's 1976 television debut, came before his smash hits Saturday Night Fever and Grease. He portrayed a little boy confined to a plastic bubble due to his immune deficiency illness in the film. Critics and fans alike took notice of Travolta's acting chops in this moving performance, which came early in his career. In addition to being a watershed moment in Travolta's career, the picture heralded the debut of a potential Hollywood superstar. From that point on, his career took off and he was about to face even greater challenges. Following Saturday Night Fever and Grease's heyday, John Travolta's career took a number of unexpected turns. From his part as Vincent Vega in a picture that revolutionized world cinema in 1997 to his powerful action roles in Face Off and his humorous performances in Get Shorty, he captivated viewers throughout the 1990s. Both his peers and his detractors came to admire him for his work in these jobs, which further cemented his status. Actor John Travolta was beloved by audiences for his ability to switch gears and provide performances in a variety of genres including action, drama, and humor. His extensive career in film allowed him to accumulate a considerable wealth, which reached $250 million thanks to his roles in numerous blockbuster films and other notable productions. My own difficulties. John Travolta has had a life full of triumph and tragedy despite his stellar acting career. Travolta gives off the impression of being a cheerful, robust guy from the outside. Little do people realize the immense personal tragedies he has endured. John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John's bond in 1978 Grease went much beyond their on-screen chemistry. It persisted for many years. Actors Danny and Sandy won over millions of viewers the minute they took the roles. But behind the scenes, Travolta and Olivia formed a strong bond that stayed with them forever. It was a terrible blow for John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John's admirers throughout the world when Olivia Newton-John died in August 2022 after a protracted illness. In addition to being an actress, Olivia was a beloved soulmate. Travolta sent a touching homage to her on social media on the day of her death, expressing his loss. "My heart aches for you. We shall meet again, and we shall be united again. From the very first time our eyes met, you were mine. You have Danny and John." Tragically, Travolta's close friend and co-star Kirstie Alley passed away not long after Olivia did. John and Kirstie were a wonderful and endearing on-screen couple in the late 1980s romantic comedy series Look Who's Talking. Their on-screen friendship blossomed into an authentic and profound friendship off-screen as well. Kirstie Alley lost her fight with cancer in December 2022. John Travolta mourned the passing of Kirstie, a close friend with whom he had innumerable memories in addition to his co-star. John took to social media to share his sadness after receiving the news. "My friendship with Kirstie was truly unique. Bye, my dear, we shall cross paths once more." Both Travolta and his fans will never forget the impact that the friendships and real connections he had with Kirstie Alley and Olivia Newton-John had on his life. The hole they created in Travolta's life is impossible to fill. Aside from the tragic events in his own life, John Travolta has also been the target of unfounded accusations about his romantic relationships. His purported homosexual relationship with private pilot Douglas Gotterba, who said they had a 6-year love affair, was one of the most attention-grabbing rumors. In a media interview, Gotterba made this claim publicly, stating that their relationship was true. But the Travolta family denied the claims, saying they were ridiculous and without merit. Reports of photos of Travolta interacting closely with acquaintances, both male and female, added gasoline to the fire of media speculation regarding his sexual orientation. In his response, Travolta denied the claims and said that he shows affection to all of his close friends, regardless of their gender. But these suspicions have stuck with Travolta, and they continue to cause controversy regarding his private life. Life as a husband? Despite all the lows, his friendship with actress Kelly Preston was the one constant that gave him the resolve to persevere. An exquisite and sorrowful journey, their love story was full with amazing memories entwined with profound sadness. Kelly Preston and John Travolta met on the set of The Experts in 1987, and that was the beginning of their romance. Kelly was in a relationship at the time, so their sentiments couldn't blossom right away, but they had an immediate connection. But fate did not allow them to be apart for too long. Their romance was renewed in 1990 when they crossed paths again in Vancouver for another film production. They knew they were meant to be together. It didn't take long. At a private, intimate ceremony in the heart of Paris. Nevertheless, there were some hiccups in the beginning of their marriage. They had to have a second ceremony in Daytona Beach to legitimize their union because the first one was officiated by a Scientology member, which made it legally illegitimate. Their love appeared to grow stronger with the difficulties they faced. After years of enduring the intense scrutiny of Hollywood, John frequently recounts how Kelly helped him find solace and joy. Yet, their amicable relationship was short-lived. Their oldest son, Jet, tragically died away at the age of 16 while on a family vacation in the Bahamas in 2009, the worst sorrow that they had ever experienced. Tragically, Jet was autistic and had Kawasaki syndrome when he had a seizure that killed him. The Travolta family was deeply shocked by Jet's demise. The beloved son of John and Kelly had passed away. All seemed lost for them. The anguish of losing Jet is indescribable. John has spoken before. Kelly and I were driven apart by it. They were not the only ones in their family shaken by the loss. It afflicted everyone. Both John and Kelly wanted what was best for their daughter Ella, so they made the decision to go forward. Even though they were going through a dark patch in their lives, a ray of hope came back a year later when Kelly became pregnant and gave birth to their son, Benjamin. John expressed his emotions through his voice as he claimed that Ben gave optimism and a fresh start. Life retested them right when they believed they had finally discovered tranquility. Breast cancer was Kelly Preston's diagnosis in 2018. Kelly made the courageous decision to fight her battle behind closed doors, avoiding the public gaze. John never left Kelly's side over the entire 2 years, offering constant emotional support. Unfortunately, Kelly passed away in July 2020 following months of courageously struggling. Not only did John lose his wife, but he also lost his soulmate and the partner he had been faithful to for 30 years. John paid tribute to Kelly in his last post on social media. "It is with great sadness that I must share the news that my lovely wife Kelly has succumbed to her 2-year struggle with breast cancer. She won the hearts of many with her brave fight. We shall be eternally indebted to her." These were more than just bereavement words. Additionally, representing John's profound affection and admiration for Kelly, the lady who had weathered all of life's tempests alongside him. Many started to question John Travolta's ability to find love after Kelly Preston's death. It was undeniably a tremendous loss to split ways with the person he had shared life with for nearly 3 decades. But there are hints that Travolta, after clinging to Kelly's memories for so long, is finally starting to let go and embrace a new chapter in his life. Reported details regarding John Travolta's romantic relationships have circulated since Kelly's demise in 2020. Rumor has it that he may be ready to pursue a new relationship after going through so much pain and grief. According to family sources, Travolta's loved ones and friends are urging him to rediscover happiness. Kelly never stopped thinking about John, according to a close family friend who revealed the news, since she believed Kelly would have wished the same. Since she didn't want him to spend eternity alone, she made it clear that he needed to keep living. Even if he doesn't have her, she still hopes he finds love and joy again. Many are wondering if John is in a relationship or even ready to start one because of this. Stories about Travolta's alleged new love generally begin with exaggerated photos of him with female acquaintances or co-workers. On the other hand, Travolta himself has not issued an official confirmation. There have been several speculations about John Travolta's private life, but he has never confirmed a relationship in public. Moving on would be difficult after sharing a love as deep as his with, and his followers probably get that. Perhaps Travolta, like so many others, comes to terms with the fact that life goes on. While he holds Kelly's affection and memories close to his heart, he is slowly letting go of the past and making room for the future, according to his recent words. One of John's closest friends remarked that the road to recovery and progress has been lengthy. John now knows that falling in love again won't take away his cherished memories of Kelly. She would definitely want him to go through that because it's part of the next chapter. People think Travolta is looking for fresh happiness, despite the fact that he hasn't confirmed any new connections. His calm personality and the good things that have happened to him recently have contributed to this belief. But nobody knows for sure, and everyone is waiting to see what happens next in the love tale of a man who has been through a lot and still manages to have a positive outlook. John Travolta finally put an end to the debate over his future at the 2023 Oscars, where he made an emotional appearance to pay tribute to the lives of 2 friends, Olivia Newton-John and Kirstie Alley, who had died away. At that very moment, John Travolta, who had before been a symbol of strength, became an emotionally vulnerable man bereaved of people who had made an indelible impression on him. Travolta had a hard time keeping his emotions in check while performing for millions of spectators. In the memoriam portion, he had the difficult responsibility of paying respect to his dear friends. It was more than a formal obligation for John. Sharing his sorrow with the world was an incredibly private moment. Travolta seemed obviously moved as he devoted himself totally to the picture that had brought them together for so many years. You from Greece during the time when they were remembered alongside Olivia Newton-John. Their friendship has warmed our hearts, brought joy, and solidified our unwavering devotion to them. John and Olivia had a lovely, authentic connection that went beyond the limelight, and these remarks were more than just a polite homage. They affirmed that closeness. John would always remember Olivia as more than simply a co-star. She was a friend for life. Friend Kirstie Alley, with whom John had many great moments in the Look Who's Talking series, was also honored by John. As if that weren't bad enough, John had already lost two of his best pals in a year when Kirstie passed away in late 2022. John recalled the happy times he had with Kirstie and lauded her bravery in battling illness while she was on the Oscar stage. At that moving moment, Travolta revealed to the world that the Hollywood icon was really a guy who had suffered a great loss, but who held dear the memories of his pals. "My life right now." There appears to be some calm in John Travolta's life after years of turmoil and tragedy. He has kept his positive outlook and looks forward to spending quality time with his family, especially his two children, despite suffering several personal traumas. With his daughters Ella and Benjamin by his side, Travolta set off on a unique journey to Japan in the summer of 2023. While there, they delighted in the beautiful scenery, learned about the local traditions, and shared many happy moments together. Through spending time with those he cares about, John has gradually rediscovers the delight of living. Not only did John and his children get to see a different culture on this vacation, but he was also able to mend his broken heart. John learned that life goes on and that happiness can be found in the little things, from the tranquil Japanese scenery to the country's distinctive cuisine. He posted upbeat images of his family with his children, demonstrating that, in spite of all they've been through, their friendship has become stronger than before. John Travolta's admirers are still curious about his future, even though he has found some equilibrium in his life. Will John, after years of starring in hit films, continue to be involved in upcoming projects? On the other hand, may he opt for a domestic life with his loved ones? John may devote more time to following his dream of becoming an aviator, as his enthusiasm for the subject has never faded. After all that John has been through, many people still question whether he can ever find love again. Despite the persistent rumors, John prefers to keep his private life out of the spotlight. Maybe we'll finally get an explanation when he's ready to let his guard down again. Who knows what the future holds for John Travolta? Whatever he does, his unwavering devotion to his loved ones and enthusiasm for living will undoubtedly serve as his compass. Let us anticipate the delights that are ahead from the man who has won over millions of fans all across the globe and Hollywood. The life and times of John Travolta are an uplifting tale of perseverance and strength, not to mention his phenomenal professional accomplishment. Despite the highs and lows of his acting career, including iconic roles and the tragic deaths of his son Jet, wife Kelly Preston, and friends Olivia Newton-John and Kirstie Alley, John has never given up hope or let his resolve waver. John Travolta has persevered through thick and thin. Everything from his family to his love of flying brings him constant happiness and fulfillment. After suffering such devastating losses, he has found solace in cherished travel experiences and quality time with his children. John went from being a famous musician all over the world to becoming a loving dad and someone who takes joy in life's simple pleasures. We can only wait for the next parts of this incredible story as his quest continues. Is John going to follow his dream of becoming a pilot, or will he keep shining in Hollywood films? Who knows what the future holds for him, but we can be sure that he will keep loving his family fiercely and passionately. Feel free to express your emotions and opinions in the comments area if John Travolta's tale has moved you. If you want to see more touching and riveting accounts of your favorite celebrities, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Appreciate your patience. Looking forward to seeing you in the next videos.